All right, let's talk. Are you a content creator who feels like you're just stuck on a hamster wheel? You're posting, you're tweeting, you're publishing, but when you look back, what are you actually building? Today, we're going to break down something called the Brand Trifecta. It's a system that's designed to turn all that frantic busy work into real, lasting assets that can grow your brand pretty much on autopilot. I'm guessing this quote hits home for a lot of you listening. It's that feeling, right? You're putting in all this effort, you're completely exhausted, and there's just not much to show for it. You're pouring all this energy into platforms you don't even own, with no real strategy to capture any of the value you're creating. And that feeling, that leads us right into what I call the creator's trap. It's this huge gap between being busy and actually building something. Your presence is scattered all over the place, there's no real system, and honestly, the only thing you can really count on is eventual burnout. A major symptom of being in this trap is something called content amnesia. You have this brilliant idea, you turn it into a great piece of content, you post it, and poof, it's just gone from your mind. Your best ideas end up scattered across a dozen random apps and notebooks, making it totally impossible to build on them. It's just a huge waste of your creative energy. So what's the way out of all this chaos? Well, it's a strategic framework called the Brand Trifecta. And listen, this is not about creating more content, not at all. It's about building an interconnected system that gives you stability and actually drives real sustainable growth for your brand. The best way to picture this is to think of a three-legged stool. I mean, a stool with just one or two legs. It's wobbly, it's unreliable, you can't count on it. But when you add that third leg, suddenly you've got a foundation that is incredibly stable and powerful. Each pillar holds the others up. So, what exactly are these three legs of the stool? Let's break down the pillars of the system. And just remember, these are not separate little tactics. They're interconnected systems designed from the ground up to work together seamlessly. Okay, here they are, the big three. Pillar number 1 is a branded landing page. Pillar 2 is a monetized newsletter. And Pillar 3 is an authority business book. Now, let's get into what each one of these actually does for you. First up, your branded landing page. This is your digital headquarters, your home base on the internet. And it's so much more than just a website. It's a strategic asset. Seriously, think of it as your salesperson that works 24/7, always capturing leads, showing off your expertise, and even bringing in passive income. Next, we have your newsletter. And this is where the real magic happens, because it's a channel that you own. There's no algorithm hiding your work from people. It's your direct line to build deep, meaningful relationships with your audience and to create revenue streams that you are in complete control of. And finally, the business book. Now hold on, don't get intimidated by the word book. We're not talking about some 500-page masterpiece here. This is about creating an authority asset. It could be a concise guide or a book of tips, something that cements your expertise. It instantly positions you as a thought leader, and believe me, it attracts the kind of high-quality opportunities you actually want. And here's where it all clicks into place. These pillars don't just exist on their own. Your landing page collects emails for your newsletter. Your newsletter builds trust and helps you promote your book. Your book establishes you as an expert and sends people right back to your landing page to learn more. It becomes this self-reinforcing flywheel that just gets stronger and stronger over time. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. A landing page, a newsletter, and a book? That sounds like a ton of work to manage, right? Well, that's where the foundation of this whole thing comes in. Your digital second brain. This is the operational hub that makes the brand trifecta not just possible, but actually manageable. So that really is the critical question, isn't it? How do you actually juggle a landing page, a newsletter, and a book project without just completely drowning in chaos? The answer isn't about working harder. It's about having a much smarter system. And this is that system. A second brain, which you can build in a tool like Notion, is basically one central place for everything. It's built around 5 core databases: a home for all your content ideas, a calendar to plan everything out, an outline for your book, an archive for your newsletter so you can see what's working, and a library for all your resources. This is what cures content amnesia, because everything you need is right there in one spot. Okay, so you've got the framework and you've got the management system. Now let's talk about the absolute best part, the payoff. This is where you really start to work smarter, not harder, thanks to something called content multiplication. Just look at this comparison for a second. The old way is a one-to-one game. One idea gets you one post. It's an endless grind that just leads to burnout. But the trifecta way? It's strategic. One single core idea gets multiplied and repurposed across your entire system. You're turning your effort into a lasting asset, not just another post that disappears in 24 hours. I mean, just look at this number. With this system in place, one single, valuable idea, let's say something like 5 mistakes new coaches make, can be systematically turned into over 20 different pieces of content. We're talking a blog post, a newsletter, a Twitter thread, video scripts, maybe even a whole chapter in your book. That is some serious leverage. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What could you really build if every single piece of content you created wasn't a dead end, but a building block for something bigger? What if your content finally started working for you, instead of you constantly working for it? That right there is the entire promise of the Brand Trifecta.